Dalton Risner is official. Thoughts on him, plus an under-the-radar move that we need to discuss and much, much more right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into CBT. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. We're closing in now. We're closing in. We're at 58,000 plus subscribers. Help us get to 60,000 by hitting that subscribe button on YouTube. Check us out wherever you get your podcast. That's right. Spotify, Apple. Take us with you on the go and leave us a 5-star review. Let's dive into what's been an eventful day at Paycor Stadium. And there's going to be a lot of offensive line talk, and it isn't just Dalton Risner. So let's get into it right now. First, though, we do have to start with Dalton Risner because it's a huge addition. He was at practice today. He finalized his agreement with the Bengals. And it's funny, I overheard, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say who or not. Anyway, I was overhearing some chatter in the building. And he had started to meet the offensive linemen. And, you know, he's familiar with some guys. He knew Noah Fant from Denver and guys from Denver, Minnesota, but didn't know a lot of guys on the team, including the entire offensive line. So he has to get to talk to the offensive line. And I spotted him chatting with Dylan Fairchild during practice. And it was right towards the end of practice, being closed to the media. And we only get to see a portion of practice these days now that we're out of training camp. And it was just like, maybe that is starting left guard and starting right guard. Maybe you're looking at your starting guard tandem here in Cincinnati. Zac Taylor non-committal on exactly what Dalton Risner is going to do, what he's going to be. I did ask him about week 1 in Cleveland. It's officially 10 days away because we're here on a Thursday, 10 days away from the start of the regular season. And so here's everything that Zac Taylor had to say about Dalton Risner, the addition, his workout, what he brings to the offensive line room, and the plan for Risner today at Paycor Stadium when asked all about the newest member of the Bengals offensive line room.
Another veteran player, that's performed well as his time in the league. And so, the timing's good to get him in here a week before the game and see where he's at. So we'll see the timing of getting him out here at practice. If so, it would just be going through individual and some stuff today. We wouldn't throw him in their full speed, but it's good. It's good to get a veteran in here who's played a lot of winning football and get him in the mix there in the O-line.
What is the process like for a lineman who's, new to everything, trying to get up to speed at this time of the year?
Getting with the line coaches, just to understand our terminology, our calls, our cadences, all that kind of stuff. But again, smart guy who's been in several different systems. So expect him to be able to adapt quickly.
Can he adapt quickly enough to be potentially available for Cleveland? Is that realistic?
Yeah, I think available for Cleveland, absolutely. Now, we'll see. We'll get him on the field. We had a workout with him last week. He looked great. Looks like he's in great shape. Great mindset. So, again, we'll get him out there, put the pads on, let him go through some stuff, and see where he's at next week.
Where do you plan on starting him out at position?
He'll be a guard. Yeah.
Both guard spots?
He'll be a guard, yeah.
You mentioned Dalton's workout, how he impressed. When you bring in a veteran like that, especially an offensive lineman, what are you looking for in the visit at that stage?
Yeah, just to make sure they've been doing something, and he had, and he was gung-ho to do it. Some guys probably would have said, no, I'm not doing that. You can sign me or not. And he was kind of over the top, like, I want to do this. And if you want me to run a 40, I'll run a 40. I mean, he was just over the top. You could get a feel for his mindset, his eagerness. And so we're happy to have him.
Look, I think Dalton is going to start. I do. It might not be week 1, but I think he's going to start shortly after that. Week 1 is a tough ask. It just is. And he's probably going to want to play and be out there. But playing 60-plus snaps, being in an offense on the road that is going to pass the ball a ton, the communication, the ability to pass off stunts, the ability to get used to who's next to you, it just takes time. It just takes time, and so it wouldn't shock me at all if they go a different direction. I think that direction could certainly be Lucas Patrick initially, but depth. Depth is important, even that week 1 depth, and it's going to get tested, and it might not be week 1. Maybe it's week 3. Maybe it's week 6. But Dalton Risner, wearing number 66, he's going to start for the Bengals this year. I'd be surprised if he didn't. And that's why it was such an important addition. Even if Lucas Patrick is awesome week 1, Lucas Patrick has the best few practices of his career. Or let's just say Dylan Fairchild doesn't hit the ground running like you expect. Well, now you have another option. You have a guy who's played left guard. You have a guy who's played right guard in Dalton Risner. It's worth noting that Jalen Rivers took some reps at left guard during walkthrough the beginning part of practice today, and he played on the left side at Miami, but he's been on the right side. And so that's an indicator that, okay, Risner is going to start getting those second-team reps on the right side as he gets acclimated, and you start working Rivers in on the left side as well so he can have that versatility. Look, adding a guy like Risner really completes the Bengals offensive line room. It makes it whole. It makes it fit together. That puzzle fits together much, much better having a proven vet like him in the building. Whether he starts or not, I think he will start in the near future, even if it isn't week 1. The Bengals, though, they added another piece to their offensive line room, to the practice squad, and it's a really, really intriguing piece. We're going to get to that and get to why it could matter coming up next. The NFL season is here, and so is Chubby's. I'm ready for football. So are you. And right now, well, you got to get this in your life. Look at this beautiful piece of Bengals gear. This is perfect. Boom. Perfect for the cookout. It's perfect for game day. It's perfect for tailgating. And it's nice and stretchy. It's just got a couple of buttons. It's the ultimate NFL polo, and it's part of Chubby's NFL collection. And right now, with our exclusive code at James, you're going to get $10 off at chubbyshorts.com/James. Yes, that includes the entire NFL collection. Chubby's is the ultimate football apparel brand, so much so they created their own fantasy football league. George Kittle, Ian Rappaport, and others have come together to assemble the Chubby's League on NFL Fantasy. Each week, the top 5 scorers will win a chance at a Chubby's polo shorts combo with their team's logo. And the grand champion gets the ultimate fan experience, a 5-city, 5-stadium NFL game tour with the +1. The loser, well, unforgettable punishment only Chubby's could pull off. Get ready for the most outrageous fantasy football season of your life, and check them out right now by using promo code James at chubbyshorts.com/James. That's $10 off your order. The promo code James, that includes the NFL collection. Support our show and tell them we sent you with promo code James at chubbyshorts.com. All right, let's get to what the Bengals did on their practice squad. And they did a few things today. One, they waived Eric Gregory, the defensive tackle who made the team. They kept 6 defensive tackles. They waived Gregory to make room for Dalton Risner. They also waived Devin Cochran, and this was a bit of a surprise. And they do that to bring in a guy in Javon Foster, who was a really intriguing offensive line prospect out of Missouri in 2024, the same draft as Amarius Mims. He went in the 4th round of the Jaguars, had made 41 college starts, 39 of them at left tackle, and was out there today. We didn't get to see him do a lot, but he'll wear number 73, signs with the Bengals practice squad. And this is just a really intriguing player. You're talking about a guy, 3-year starter at Missouri, had a ton of production, 39 starts at left tackle, another 2 starts at right tackle, and it was a third-team All-American, first-team All-SEC, really decorated, someone that they brought in for a top 30 visit before the draft. So someone the Bengals were interested in. Let's say they didn't get Amarius Mims. Javon Foster was probably one of those guys that they would have targeted in the mid-rounds. And so to get him in the building, to get him on your practice squad, and he appeared in 4 games for the Jaguars last year, but really didn't get much playing time. They had the coaching change, the regime change. Those things can make it weird. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe this is just another guy. Or maybe the Bengals gave Scott Peters a real prospect with real production to work with. He's got good size, good length, not the best athlete on the world, but certainly a promising prospect. And so now I look at this Bengals offensive line room, and I mentioned the puzzle. And an offensive line room is certainly a puzzle. And what you want is nice young developmental pieces. You want proven guys and proven veterans and guys that are going to hold up and have a nice blend of each. The athletic, the better. The bigger, the better. The stronger, the better. All of those things. Well, Foster, not the most athletic, but certainly has good size, good power, and someone that I think could matter. Like, could he be an upgrade over Devin Cochran? Absolutely. In a tackle room that right now Cody Ford is your swing tackle, does it hurt to take a flyer on a 4th rounder from last year? Heck no. I think it makes a ton of sense. I think that's probably why Javon Foster ended up signing in Cincinnati and not elsewhere. As he looked at that tackle room and he said, man, behind Amarius and behind Orlando Brown Jr., that's my time. That's where I need to go. We'll see if he gets there. But that's just a really intriguing ad. And so you look at what the Bengals have done in the offensive line room. It's been pretty darn solid to this point over the past couple of years. Not just this year, past couple of years. Not just the veterans like Orlando Brown Jr. and Ted and guys like that, obviously Alex Kappa in 2022. But you think back to last year, Amarius Mims and Matt Lee, two really nice additions. And I like that they brought in, it didn't work for outside of 3 games, but they brought in Trent Brown as kind of a bridge between the two. And so you go that route. And then this year, you get a Dylan Fairchild who looks like he's going to start right away. You bring in a guy in Lucas Patrick who a lot of people are down on, I get it, but has value and I think would make a ton of sense on game day, long term, to be your backup at both guard spots and your backup at center. Like he can do all 3 of those, even if he is your starting right guard today. You get in a Dalton Risner as well. That helps you now. That's an upgrade with Risner and Patrick. That should be an upgrade from what you got from Alex Kappa last season. And then you have a Jalen Rivers. You have a Javon Foster. You have multiple guys now where it's like, all right, well, Matt Lee. These are guys, these are pieces of the future. So overall, really pleased with what they've done. And obviously, this is all circling and revolving around Scott Peters and his ability to teach and his ability to maximize and develop these guys. We'll see. But I like what they've done. I think that puzzle fits together really, really nicely. And on the practice squad as well, it makes a ton of sense. Also, Craig Yeast, you remember him, the former Bengals wide receiver? Well, they brought in another Yeast, this time at safety. Russ Yeast is the newest member of the Bengals safety room, and we wrote about him as well, BengalsTalk.com. He's got a lot of experience over the past couple of years. It bounced around the league a little bit last year, but certainly from a practice squad standpoint, makes a lot of sense for him to be in the mix there with Dejon Anthony on injured reserve. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow wherever you get your podcast, and obviously use promo code James at chubbyshorts.com. For Andrew Fox-Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And check out all of our other videos, including Dalton Risner and Trey Hendrickson, right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.